Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I am your host, Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. I hope everybody is having an awesome weekend, let alone awesome New Year's Eve. For those who are watching on New Year's Eve, of course. If you're watching on New Year's Day in 2024, Happy New Year. I hope everybody has some good New Year's resolutions to make for the following year. I don't have any yet.
I don't have any yet either, so
But we could talk about them in 2024 when we do have a shoot the shit. So,
yeah.
anyways, thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoy our episode. Of course, the final episode of the year. We had to do a recap of 2023 of what happened this year in the pod, outside of the pod, and everything in between. So to make this go by quicker, we're actually going to group the months together. Like January and February are going to be together, and then like March through May are going to be together. The only 2 months we're leaving out on their own are August and December because a lot of stuff has happened in both of those months.
hmm
So,
Yeah. A lot has happened in those 2 months alone. So,
yeah.
but
So, you ready to get into January?
I guess I'm ready as I'll ever be. I guess.
So, from January to February, not a lot went on for me personally. I don't know about you.
Well, I celebrated my 1 year anniversary of working at Jimmy John's in January,
Yay! Food!
and next month will be my 2 year anniversary working there.
Yay! Double food.
Food. I mean, and we also celebrated like the pod anniversary in January this year
Yes.
too.
Yes,
Uh,
this upcoming year will be 2 years since we started this show. That's crazy.
yeah, like I said in the previous episode, um, this year alone has been a wild ride for us personally and for the pod too. So
Yeah, definitely. A lot of change. Well, not really a lot of changes. Like our routine's been the same, but we've had a lot of interruptions, which I will get to when we get to the summer.
yeah,
So for January, we as a group started our Blink 182 pilgrimage. That went from the beginning of January all the way to the end of February. So it took about a whole month to do, but it was definitely fun. And little did we know how big of an impact Blink would play on our life later on in the year.
yes, for sure. Uh,
So I can't really think of anything for February. I'll be honest. Like Valentine's Day always sucks for me.
I didn't have anything for February or March anyway, so
So moving on to March to May. March. We start oh god, man. Okay. So March, I just realized this. March was the month where I temporarily made that reconnection with my ex. Well, shit.
yeah, that didn't go down so well.
Well, I mean, like the first couple months, it was okay, but like when we got to June, I'll explain. But,
Mm.
anyways, also in March, we started our Def Leppard pilgrimage.
Oh yes.
The beginning of the end.
It's like that took so long though.
It
Like
went from the beginning of March all the way till May 19th.
like I said, it was so long.
But I'm going to be honest with you. Even though I haven't mentioned any of the other pilgrimages we've done yet. I honestly firmly feel like Def Leppard was my favorite pilgrimage we did this year.
I can say that too, but then at the exact same time, like I was sad when the Blink pilgrimage was finished
Yeah, I could
because
honestly feel that.
we kind of ended on a sour note in Blink a little bit.
Yeah, but we picked it back up later in the year because Blink
Yeah,
surprised us. So,
yeah.
um, with Def Leppard from like March to May, like they didn't stop there. Like after we finished the pilgrimage, I listened to Def Leppard all summer.
hmm
Def Leppard was my number one Spotify artist this year on Spotify Wrapped. Literally 90% of my top 5 songs for Spotify Wrapped were Def Leppard. And surprisingly enough, my most listened to Def Leppard song comes from the album X. That's kind of funny because
You didn't really
For a
like it.
while, I did not like X, but now I really vibe with it. I really dig the pop rock vibe of it.
Hmm.
So I can see why. I kind of picked up on X later on in the year. But yeah, literally March to May, it was fun. It was a roller coaster listening to all those Def Leppard albums. And then we ended up crying at the very end when Jurassic Symphonies came out. It was like the perfect ending to the pilgrimage.
Hmm. Yeah, even though it wasn't a technically a studio album, we just did it just because fuck it,
Might as well, perfect timing.
right? All right. So I want to talk about my April, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
backtrack to April.
Okay, so my April, I went to my very first GCW show in Orlando in
Woot
April,
woot.
and I'm not gonna lie, I had a very very good time.
I'm glad you did.
I had a very very good time, because I have seen GCW in highlights or clips or whatever, before. I hadn't watched a full show at that point, um, but I was like, it's in Florida, it's in Orlando, it's 2 hour and a half drive, give or take, whatever route you take, and I'm just gonna go have a good time. And I really did. Like I was sore the next day, yes, but that's just because they had those picnic chairs, like the foldable
Yes.
chairs and all that shit. Um, so that was great. Um, like there was like the venue that it was inside a like a civic center. Like so like there's a basketball court inside. There's like like workout rooms and all that shit. So the ring itself was in the basketball court, and the curtain, the pipe and drape, it's where like you would exit like the door. So like the wrestlers would come in through the exit door and then come in through the curtain. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then they had like the merch tables around and stuff. Um, I got to take, I got like a signed 8x10 by two wrestlers and stuff. Took some really good pictures with some of the wrestlers there. Um, and then I put them on Twitter. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to probably get a lot for them. Well, then the next day, you're like, hey, go check your Twitter real quick. I was like, oh shit, like some of the people that were at the show, they liked and retweeted my pictures. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, awesome. Like, I didn't really expect
Yeah,
it, to be honest with you. I was like, you know what? If I get a like or a retweet, I don't care. It's like I don't really get on Twitter that much, but
me neither.
I just wanted to like share my experience. And like I met another good friend of mine named Mittens. If you're listening to this, you rock, bro. He's like always at every GCW show. He's always there, no matter
Lucky duck.
what time of day it is.
He's like that one dude in WWE with the green shirt who's always
Green
there.
shirt guy, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And then
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
the Brock Lesnar guy, he's always there too.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah,
Mm.
he's always there, front row, and like he's got this big bushy beard and all that stuff, and like me and him, like we just hit it off instantly, like we were like best friends from high school or something. It was awesome. Uh, like I'm probably gonna try to go see him if he's gonna go to the DCW show that's next month in Tampa. So hopefully he'll be there, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?"
That'd be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. So that was my
Speaking
April.
speaking of what's I gonna say? Was it this year? No, it was last year. Okay, I take that back. I was gonna talk about when I got noticed by Wardlow, but that was last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
Amazingly enough, that was last year. That's crazy. Um, Geez, I really don't have anything else to talk about for March to May.
Well, I was kind of slowly preparing for New York in May,
Oh
but
yes.
then when we like when we get to June, I'll talk about it more. But I was slowly preparing in May.
So, speaking of June, let's get into June. So we kicked off our Foo Fighters pilgrimage the very beginning of June. We're talking June 1st. We literally did a double album week because Foo Fighters had released But Here We Are the following day on June 2nd. So we did
Hmm.
two albums that week right off the bat. So that was actually a really good early birthday gift for me because like I remember when the Foo Fighters were announcing that they were going to do an album and stuff. So
Right. I can't remember what did we start out on the pilgrimage.
I think we started out with one by one or something like that.
Cause we had because I remember when we did the Taylor Hawkins tribute event, we did Echo Silence, Patience, and Grace, and then we started the official pilgrimage on One by One.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think it was like I think that was a good album to start the pilgrimage on. So
This freaking my scanner's going off right now. There's something going on. Um, anyways, yeah, we did start out with one by one, but like before that, we did like the color and the shape, and we did echo, silence, patience, and grace, and stuff like that. So we did like a head start kind of thing back
hmm
into spring. But other than that, like our official start was one by one, and then we went into But Here We Are because we thought it'd be appropriate.
hmm yeah, because I remember like I said, I remember like we both did Echo Silence, Patience, and Grace for the Taylor Hawkins tribute thing, and then we both because I had gotten Color in the Shape for album exchange.
Yeah, and I was like, I better go catch up and
Yeah,
listen to it.
and so we were we were caught up, and then we did One by One, and then we did But Here We Are. So we were four
Yeah.
deep at this point.
Yeah, that's crazy. We kind of had a little head start, so in a way, it kind of went by quicker.
Hmm
Um, and then my birthday came by. I turned 21 this year. I didn't really do much. I went fishing because that's what I wanted to do. I went fishing on my birthday, and then we did the celebration on Discord and stuff like that. Luckily, I did not get sick this year, so God
Yeah,
bless for that.
yeah, for real.
And then the rest of June kind of flew by, and then the end of June hit, and I woke up one morning and I was for some reason blocked by my ex on everything. He had left our server. Like that was where it started. He left the server,
hmm
unfriended me on
Discord, Twitter.
Discord, and then blocked me on Facebook and Messenger and Snap. And I had my sister talk to him, and I was like, why did he block me out of nowhere? Like we literally had a good conversation the night before about something. And basically like said like, oh, it's hard for him to talk to me, he still misses me, all that blah 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 blah. Like, dude, get a grip.
It's been a while.
Get yourself to wait.
Get yourself
My
together.
God, pull yourself together.
My God, put yourself together.
I hope he's not watching. Even anyways, but that was probably the best thing that happened because like I don't know, like ever since then, like I just feel like more confident. Like I feel like sassier now. Like I feel like I can stand my ground and stuff. Like yeah, I got like excuse me, I got closure that I wanted.
Yeah, I
But
can
like
feel
in a
that.
sense, it's like I really don't care anymore for friends. I really don't give a fuck. Not after the shit that he was telling me for like 3 months straight.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember like literally the first day
yeah.
I started talking to him,
hmm
he told me about the whole story about the party and stuff?
I remember.
It's like, dude, you couldn't wait to tell me that. Meanwhile, I'm over here I can't wait to tell you about the fact I've been doing a podcast for like a year at that point.
And then he went into detail about. Well, I mean, we could talk about it. It's like
Fuck it.
it's like we're doing live. Fuck it. Um. He talked about like what was it? He would leave you if you didn't want to give him kids and all that shit. Come
Yeah.
on, that's kind of fucked up. Like that
Yeah, like
mentally
if I
fucked
was
you up.
still with him, if I still would have been with him years later and I told him I didn't want kids at that point, he would have left me. It's like, huh? Like I pretty much dodged a bullet when I left.
Nutty. This is like
Like
what?
I'm sitting here, like I'm on my beanbag chair, I'm sitting here right now. My legs up on the coffee table because my dad's not here right now. He's out working as we're recording this.
Hi,
Um
Rick.
I'm just sitting here just like fucking smiling about this. Like months ago I was more bitter about it. Like I was really angry and pissed off. But I've learned like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm not gonna let that get to me. Like sure it's a little disrespectful what he said, but there's guys out there who
Oh,
You good?
yeah, I lost you for a second, I guess.
Yeah, it says that you lost connection on your end for a second. You good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
I,
literally sitting right next to my internet right now. So, and I'm in my living room right now.
mm.
So I get good reception in here. But anyways, yeah, I'm really kind of glad that that happened, that he did block me when he did. Because since then,
but
I am smooth sailing.
but my June was, preparing and plotting
Plotting
for.
your secret, I don't know.
I want your secret formula. No, um, I was, secretly plotting my trip for New York in June and July. Um, but I think it was either June or July. I can't remember. But I went to my first AEW show.
That was August. That was like a
Oh
couple
yeah, that's
days
right.
before you came up.
That's right. I was like, I wrote it down in June or May through June, but I was or July. I was like, it's like right around that time frame.
I remember July was a rough month for the podcast because we literally had to postpone our episode for I think we had to upload it literally on July 4th, but we had to move it a day because at the time I was still living in the mountains, the cell towers slowed right down. I couldn't
Hmm.
do nothing. I couldn't record. I couldn't get on social media. I couldn't do anything because there was so many people up there, and the cell tower wasn't strong enough bandwidth wise for everybody to be on it at once. So I had to
Yeah,
wait a day to record and then upload, and the upload process took forever. This video
yeah,
we did was 50 minutes long.
yeah. That took a while.
And what sucked was it was the one episode I was really, really passionate about. And I did days upon days of research on said episode. I'm talking about the breakdown for the Adrenalize album by Def Leppard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
it breaks my heart because I spent days doing research. I listened to that whole interview Joe did for the Adrenalize album. Like that whole interview was over an hour. I listened to the whole thing twice and took notes each time. And just to have the cell tower fuck it up and kind of ruin the recording. Also, I apologize for that noise in the background. That is my scanner. I don't want to turn it down.
Right.
And then fast forward to later in the month, my cell tower goes out for 2 days. For literally 2 days, I could do nothing. I literally had to fall asleep watching movies on my Xbox because I had no internet for 2 days because of the cell tower. And that sucked because I had to have you upload a solo episode by yourself. I was supposed to be a part of the episode, and I had to have you upload it by yourself.
Yeah, it was the yeah, it was that. I
Wasn't
think
it
it was
Foo
that.
Fighters related?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think I
Oh,
can't. I can't remember.
I think
But
it was.
I mean, hey, I did good though. I
You
got
did,
it.
and I was so happy you were able to upload it. I was worried that you weren't going to be able to figure it out, but it's super simple. The way we do it is super simple. And what I like is you can do it right from your phone. You don't necessarily need a laptop. You can just do it right from your phone. It's super simple.
It took me a little bit to figure it out because I was like, okay, like what do I need to do? Because I was like, I didn't have you to help me guide me through,
But I
and I
sent
was
you
like,
screenshots of what to do
yeah,
before I went
yeah,
back home.
and I was like, okay, I got it, I got it, and got it and figured it out and got it my first try. So,
And that's good. And now you'll know how to do it for reference.
mm,
So that was July. And then August came.
mm,
That was a very, very busy month. Unfortunately, we missed one pod episode because it had a cell tower outage. We planned on double recording that weekend prior to get
mhm.
stuff ready for the fair. Unfortunately, we did not have an episode for the first day of the fair, which fell on Sunday, August 6th. So out of the 2 years we've been doing this show, we've only missed one episode.
I mean, hey,
That's
that's
pretty
pretty
fucking
good.
consistent.
That's pretty dang good. Um, if I may, if I could backtrack to July a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, one of the days when I was working, it was one of the weekends when I was working. I had gotten a delivery, and this I think I told you about this. The lady, she had called the store and she was like, yeah, like, I want to give my tip in cash. And we were like, yeah, like, sure, yeah, I'll take it and whatever. I mean, hey, I was like, I want to get money at this point so I can save it for my trip. And like, I had to call the lady, and the lady, I walked in and she was blind. So
Oh.
she could not see me at all. Um, she was very nice. She was like, "Come in," and I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "I'm in here." I was like, "Okay." And so she was like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm good." And I was like, where do you want me to put your food?" And she's like, "Okay, just put it on the table in front of me." I was like, "Okay," because I was like, I didn't want her to like, knock anything over or something, and I would have to go back and all that shit. And she hands me a $50 bill, and she was like, "Oh no, like," I was like, "Do you want me to break it or something, or so you want me to give you change?" She's like, "No, no, 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 that's for you." She's like, "That's your tip." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Well, thank you, man." I was like, "I really do appreciate that." She handed me a $50 bill, and she was like, "Yep, that's your tip."
Holy
I was like,
crap, that's
I was like,
awesome.
I was like, "Hell yeah!" I I appreciated her. I was like, "Thank you, man. That was so nice of you. Hopefully we'll see you again and all that stuff." And I walked out. I got in my car and I started doing like the air fist pump, like yes, yes, yes. And then I was like, I was like overjoyed for like the rest of the day because of that one lady.
Well, I'd be too, for sure.
Um, I just wanted to backtrack a little bit because I was like, because I put in brackets, it says somewhere in there was where I got a $50 tip. I just
And
wanted
that's
to backtrack a little
awesome.
bit.
Hey, and that's fine. That's awesome. Like my dad's gotten freaking I think the first night he started his new job, which I'll get to that, but the first night he started his new job, his first delivery was a $44 tip.
I mean, hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Anyways, moving on to August, Fair Week came and you came up to visit.
Yes.
That was
Um,
fun. You were here from, let's see, you flew in on the 4th,
August.
but
Uh,
I
yeah.
didn't get to see you until the 6th when the fair started.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was like I think it was August 2nd when I went to the AEW show,
Yeah, I remember it was like 2 days prior to your flight here.
and then Thursday I didn't do anything, or well, I worked, I think, like half a day or
Yeah.
something. And then that Friday I so for people who do not know, it was on one of the Shoot the Shit episodes. I can't remember which one.
It was for September, I believe.
Yeah. For people who do not
Oh,
know,
I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
okay. Well, for people who do not
Hello?
know, I had gone to the airport in Florida. I arrived there maybe 3 hours early, because my mom, she didn't want me to like be late for my flight and all this things. Plus, it's like a 2.5 hour drive from where we're at to the airport. And I got there early. Got my boarding pass and all that stuff. And I was literally there from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until I didn't leave the airport until like almost 8 o'clock, maybe almost like maybe 9:30 at night. So I was there at the airport from for like 6 hours.
Sorry about that. My dad had just called me. Basically said that the deliveries are dead now for the night.
Oh, okay. I was just telling the folks about my overnight almost stay at the Orlando airport.
Yeah, I remember that.
that
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 sucked.
that day was so awful, and it was like my first time flying too. So I was kind of like, really, like this is what it's gonna be like. But at the same time, I couldn't help that because we live in a state where there's hurricanes and stuff. So can't really help that because it got delayed like several times. I think I didn't leave the airport until like almost like 9:30, almost quarter to 10.
I remember that you were texting me, you like kind of like a little nervous because your flight got delayed, but at least you made it here,
Yeah, at
and
least I
your
made it
hotel
up.
was just down the frickin' street.
Yeah, man, I had to call the taxi service. Luckily, they were open still. Uh, I had to call the taxi service in Plattsburgh, and the guy, he was like speeding as all hell through those streets, man.
That's how
Like,
they drive up here.
like holy shit.
It's like slow
Um,
down.
yeah. And then I reached the hotel and all that stuff. It was like midnight when I got in there. Like I was like just so exhausted.
I bet you probably slept good.
Not really.
Oh,
Like, cause like at some points of the night, like I had to turn down like the cooling unit and all that shit. And
yeah,
like I didn't go to bed till like almost 2 o'clock, cause like you and I were chatting.
yeah. I remember at that point I was staying up late.
Yeah,
Now I can barely make it past midnight.
yeah. But yeah, at least I made it at that point. I didn't
And
fit it.
then you moved on to August 5th, I believe. Our good pal Corey, who actually lives out in Plattsburgh, brought you to Malone so you could
Mhm.
stay at the Malone Hotel that you had chosen to stay at.
Yeah,
Um, so you were there that day, and you got to try Drex too.
yeah, that was actually pretty good too. Not gonna lie,
It's funny because I just had freaking two subs today because we got one for free. Um,
because they messed up.
because they fucked up our order. So you had that. So nothing really happened that day. We were just really, really excited for the next day to come for fair. And so the sixth comes, first day of fair. We finally meet, and you're like super fucking tall.
Yeah, I'm like 6'4". That's why.
I don't even remember what shirt you were wearing that day.
Oh God.
I know you brought your purple rain shirt.
Yeah. Um,
It was like very hot that day. I remember it was literally the only hot day of the week.
I think it was probably like the self care shirt or something. I can't
And you
remember.
got to meet Kevin and Jaden.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna kind of like keep skipping ahead. Um, so basically, from Sunday all the way up until your leaving day, which was Wednesday, we went to the fair together all 3 or 4 of those days, and you eventually got to meet my sisters too.
Yeah, I got to meet them the day before I left. I think.
Yeah, the last day you went to the fair with us, you got to meet my sisters, and they all hung out with us.
Man, I could not fit in any of those damn rides. I
I
I
know.
cause I was like, yeah, like, cause like I think the only two rides that I could fit was Scrambler, but I had to suck in my belly, but that fucking hurt. And then
The bumper cars you couldn't even fit.
yeah, because I'm too damn tall. That's why.
The Ferris wheel you fit though. And the spinning
Yeah,
dragons, we were like kind of stuck in there.
yeah. Um, so I think like I said, like my game plan for next year, if I do go, I'm not gonna do any rides because I can't fit. Like
Yeah.
I lose it if maybe if I lose like a few inches in height, just shut myself down.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that was like the most painful experience of my life there. Like,
I
because
remember that.
not only could I not fit in the bump cars, could barely fit in the scrambler, could barely fit in the spinning dragons. And then like the Ferris wheel, yeah, I can fit on that. But well, I mean, I could fit in the chair swinging ride.
Oh, I'm not going on that ride ever
But
again.
but for those who do want context, um, that ride almost scared us half to death.
Yeah, because they changed it. The chairs go like up and down and makes you feel like you're gonna fall off.
I thought I was about to fall out of my damn seat. Um, but the funniest thing was after we were getting like slowing down and going down lower to the ground, the the person that was behind us, like maybe 2 or 3 seats behind us, like they let out this big ass burp. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, I remember. And then there was, I don't know if you were with us, but somebody just threw up right behind Jaden, or actually right in front of Jaden. So Jaden was sitting behind the person that threw up.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah, poor girl. If she's
Poor girl.
listening, oh, poor girl. Let's just say we were done with rides for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I got like we got some cool stuff at the fair too. Like got
Got
some
the Pink Floyd
shirts.
shirts. Yeah.
Got the shirts. We got. I got my mom. Oh
The piggy shirt.
the piggy shirt and the piggy earrings.
I think I picked out the piggy shirt for her. I'm the one that spotted it.
Yeah, you're the one that spotted that shirt. I got the piggy earrings to match. And she was just where she actually wore that piggy shirt today. So
That's awesome.
she actually wore it today. I just realized that. Um, and then what else?
You got
There was
Papa Dice or something too.
yeah. I think it's like a T-shirt or something. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, I stayed. But I wish I had a rental car because
Yeah.
I didn't. I do really appreciate Corey coming out there to like Plattsburgh and pick me up and then driving me all the way to Malone and stuff. But it's like I rather would have like rather done it myself. So it's like instead of like depending on him to get me there, and plus like what if he couldn't get me? That's the thing.
Right.
I would have had to take an Uber,
Yeah,
and
and
I
you
didn't
had to
really.
take an Uber back from Malone to Plattsburgh.
Yeah, so I think like next time if I do
Actually, you
that,
took the bus. You took a transit bus.
I took the transit bus from Malone to Plattsburgh the day that was coming back
Yeah.
because I thought I had missed it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not going home then, like because like I was like getting kind of like worried because I was like did I miss it? Like, is there somebody coming and stuff? I actually like waved the person down, and the bus fare wasn't too bad. It was like like $1.50 or something,
Oh, ain't too bad.
and he took me from where I was in Malone all the way to it was like this like children like this child like custody center or something in Malone. So that wasn't too bad of a drive. Like that's not
Yeah.
too bad.
That's not too bad
Um
at all. You got picked up by the courthouse, I believe,
yeah, it was the courthouse and then he took me to the center that I
in
dropped me off.
Plattsburgh. Yeah.
And then I had to call the taxi from there to the airport.
Yeah, and your flight back wasn't bad. You left on time.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. So that happened, and then after you left, I finished out Fair Week with my friends. Ken's came over from Canada and surprised me and went to the fair with me for an evening outing. That was fun because we stayed right till closing, and I literally had a battery that was at 20% by the time he got to the fair, which was at like 7 o'clock in the evening.
hmm
And you gotta remember, at the time, I was living in the mountains. So we had another 20-minute drive back to my house. And by the time we got to the bottom of the hill, which is like the halfway point to my house, my phone died. And it was like 10:30 at night. But luckily my dad left the door unlocked.
Yeah, what?
So Fair Week kind of went through with a breeze. I still miss it, all the food and stuff, all the prizes I won at bingo, and sadly you didn't win anything.
No, I mean I'm not salty about it, but damn bingo,
So
bingo.
bingo. So the rest of August, nothing much really happened, but then September kind of hit, and I suddenly found out I was moving. I was leaving the
Oh,
mountains after living in the mountains for 4 years, and we were moving back to town. And we found this really nice apartment. Me and my dad. It's a really, really nice apartment right in town. Um, and we moved in. We got the keys September 5th, and pretty much from that point on, all the way to beginning of October, we were moving. I remember I was pre-recording episodes like crazy so I wouldn't have to record when we were moving, which I think that was a very smart idea. Sure,
hmm
we did a month's worth, but like we kind of had a month off from recording. It kind of felt good. when we got back into it in October.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt like a fresh start. Like we were more motivated. Like we just sounded more upbeat. I felt really good when we came back in October. So with that said, September there's really not much to talk about besides the fact that I was moving, and then October came, and I got to celebrate Halloween for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. We handed out candy for the first time ever. We didn't get a lot of people, but I mean, it was a lot of fun, even though I was freezing my ass off.
Yeah. It's like we don't get many trick or treaters around here. It's mostly like the neighborhoods that's like near our place that do that stuff. Um, but I mean, you were just like go like I mean, I think we had some candy that we just ate ourselves. Like we were just like, you know what? But also in October, I went a Spark Jersey Pro show in Orlando, the exact
Oh
same venue that I
yeah,
went to that GCW show, and I got to
that's
meet the
right.
promoter afterwards. I got to meet the promoter afterwards. I got to uh, meet the ever so lovely and awesome badass Mayu Yamashita. I got to I high fived her twice, and so like I high fived her, and then she did like a little lap around the ring, and then I had my hand out again, and she was like, "All right," like high fived me. I was like, "Yes." got got her high five twice. That felt good. Um, I was sore the next day too because I was standing up the whole time. uh, but at first, I had purchased a second row seat, and then I think it was like a few days before or something like um, the promoter or the promotion, I should say, they said, "Hey, so something had come up and we would love to upgrade you to this first row seat."
Wow.
And I was like, hell yeah! I'm gonna say no to a first row seat. Like, come on, like, so I did that, and then the angle that I was seated in, it wasn't the best for like taking pictures and all that stuff because like the light, like there's a light on the other side of the ring and stuff, and it was kind of like blocking the view for some things. So then that's why I had to like get up and move to like take pictures and all that stuff. And so like majority of the time I was just standing up and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna stand up for the whole time. That was like the worst mistake of my life. But I had a really good time. Like, cause I mean, like I don't go out much for wrestling shows. Like this year alone, I went to 3 wrestling shows in Florida.
Whereas me, I haven't seen a wrestling show since 2013 when TNA used to come to my neck of the woods about an hour away.
Like like the closest thing I was gonna say, it's like the closest thing to you is like Long Island, New York, but it's like that's like
Wrong.
well,
Syracuse.
well, the event that is taking place this weekend is in Long
Well,
Island.
yeah, I'm just saying in general. I think the closest is like Rochester and Syracuse. That's like the two closest right now.
I was gonna say Albany, but that's not even close.
That's full. Well, even Syracuse ain't closed. Neither is Rochester. They're all about the
Yeah,
same distance, unfortunately.
yeah.
But yeah, hey, I mean, this was your year for going to wrestling shows, so that's pretty dope.
I hopefully I can do more next year, but
You
I
need to
don't
go
know.
see a WWE show.
It's like I just don't really feel like doing that though. It's like GCW, that's fine. AEW, that's fine. Like if there's like a local indie or something, like I'll go
Even
support it.
even Impact. You should go to
Like
Impact.
like see, that's the thing though. Like I know a little sidebar here, but the Impact shows that are supposed to come down to Florida and stuff, they're in Kissimmee, and that's like almost a 3 hour drive.
Ooh, yeah, it's like from here to freaking Rochester or something
It's
like
like
that.
it's a 3 hour drive there, 3 hour, maybe 3.5 hour tapings because it's Impact Hard to Kill tapings,
Oh yes, okay.
and then it's a 3 hour drive back.
Ugh, Jesus.
So like, there's no way.
Yeah, there's like no freaking way. But who knows? Maybe they'll change and maybe they'll come closer to you. That's what they did for me when I was younger. They came to Messina, which was an hour away from me. Now they don't even bother.
Like well, I should say this also. There was a NXT live show that I was going to go to this year,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't go because A, the line was too long, and then B, like the doors weren't even opening like as soon as like they had a specific time for the doors to open, and they weren't even open yet. It was like an hour after,
Wow.
and people were just standing out there, and it was starting to rain, so
Ugh.
people were getting soaked, and I'm like, really? Like, I mean, luckily enough, like the venue wasn't too far away from my house anyway, so it was just like a 3 minute drive back home.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, you know what? Like, it's not the end of the world if I miss this one. Um, but yeah, I mean, I got to see GCW, AEW, and got to see a Spark Joshi Pro show.
Yeah. That's
So,
cool.
and they were all spaced out. uh,
So, I actually forgot to mention from August 9th all the way to the end of October, we did our Van Halen pilgrimage as well. Unfortunately for me, I was moving at that time from September to October. So, a lot of the Van Halen pilgrimage was a bit of a blur to me because I was so tired every night. But I do remember a good majority of it, but some of it was a blur. But nonetheless, we got through it. I was kind of glad when we were done it, to be honest.
yeah. I think that pilgrimage was like the weakest one.
Yeah, I think that was the weakest one this year. But moving into the final 2 months of the year, November and of course December. November, we started our Fall Out Boy pilgrimage. And let me tell you, I actually really liked that pilgrimage. We just finished it back on December 26th. So I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's probably one of the stronger ones we did this year.
Right.
And
And
then
our
also in November, Thanksgiving.
yes. Also to backtrack to October as well as like we did the final Blink 182 album thing.
Oh, yes.
And
We finally
so
wrapped up our Blink stuff once and for all for the time being because they dropped a new album one more time, which we did talk about in the last episode we just did. If you guys want to go check that out. And we also broke down this album earlier this year in two parts. So go check it out as well in the breakdown series. Um, really good album, honestly. Album of the
mhm,
year, on God.
mhm.
Um, God bless Blinktober. Uh, and then November, like I said, Thanksgiving. I ended up reconnecting with my mother at the beginning of December. So that's been fun. I've been going to hang out with her a lot in the month of December. I spent Christmas with her and Christmas Eve as well, and then a couple days in between. Um, it's been great, honestly. I think the end of the year has turned out to be okay. I mean, my dad got a new job. He ended up getting done at his other job that he had been there for several years, and he just got a new job now as a delivery driver for a local pizza place here in my hometown. And it's been crazy, I could tell you that. But the tips are good. I could tell you that the tips are really, really good at this job, and I don't think my dad could be any happier where he is.
It's like, hey, he gets to do what I do.
Yeah, except he's delivering pizzas. He's literally
Exactly.
he's literally the Roblox game.
For real. It's
Uh,
literally Roblox come to life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Um
Plus, we
my
get a GPS.
yes. My Thanksgiving, I was over it with my folks and my stepsister and her mom. Um, which we were going to in December or this month, I should say. We were going to celebrate Christmas with them, but that ended up not happening because my dad had gotten sick, and then I got sick, and
And
then
your
she
mama
got
got
sick,
sick.
and so
It's Sickmas.
Sickness. um, but uh, Thanksgiving like went down without a hitch. There's a lot of food left though, a lot of food.
As
Um,
always.
but like I said, like we were going to go to my stepsister and her mom's for Christmas. That ended up not happening either, because my folks and I we were sick. But then also my stepsister and her mom were kind of under the weather as well. So it was kind of like maybe a blessing in disguise in a way, because like we didn't want to get each other sick again.
Yeah.
Um, but then at that time as well, I'm not gonna say like what my stepsister's mom has and stuff, but it's something that they caught early, which that's a good thing. Um, I hope she's doing better. I hope she'll get the treatment that she gets. Um, it's nothing too serious, but I'm not gonna like disclose anything other than that because I that would be going against her wishes. And I don't want her coming after me and all that stuff, and I don't want my stepsister coming after me and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna just keep it at that. Um, but also in December, I did get my raise, so that's awesome.
Woohoo! Win, win, win. Money, money.
and and I turned 25, so
Woo!
wow.
You're older than me still, and I'm never gonna catch up.
I mean, hey, you'll be catching up eventually, but but like maybe if I like stop my age and then you'll catch up with me, we'll just go forward on that age train together.
Oh,
um, but yeah, it's it's been a crazy 12 months
it
for
really
us.
has been. There's been a lot of ups and downs. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of priorities set straight, a lot of like, fuck you, don't give a shit about this person anymore kind of vibe.
Like self-healing moments and stuff.
Yeah, a lot more self healing. Not as I can definitely say this though, not as much as last year. Last year I was healing a lot. Like I was really, really happy last year. This year it's not that I wasn't necessarily happy. There's just a lot going on all at once, especially when September hit.
Yeah, because you were moving and then
It was a big change because I was so used to the mountain life for so long. And now I'm back in the village. Like at first I was like I hated it. I was depressed the first month. I'm not gonna lie about that.
oh yeah.
But as time went on, like I've been here since September 5th. Well, excuse me, September 20th is when we moved in here officially. That I started sleeping here. It was like September 19th, September 20th. Uh, since then, it's like I'm getting used to it now. There's more benefits than anything. I'm closer to my mother and my sisters for that matter. I'm closer to all the stores. My dad, his employment's literally like across the freaking street, kind of. It's like a street over.
Hmm.
So it's like there's more benefits than anything. Our roads are always plowed. My dad doesn't have a freaking trail to plow anymore. And since I moved here, I have very little eczema now
Hey, that's a good thing.
because we're
Good.
not using a wood stove for heat. We literally have propane heat here. So
Yeah. And plus like the biggest I think step in mine was conquering my fear of flying because
yeah,
I hadn't flown on a plane before,
I'm on a
and
plane.
I'm on a plane. Um, okay, for people who do not know, it's like me and this woman here, we will share memes, we will share songs, we will share a lot of crazy shit.
Random freaking pictures of my cats throughout the day.
Yes. Also, hi Tiggy if you're listening. Um,
she
but
gets she
she's just
gets
like, what? What?
she gets on her little like secret phone that she has.
It's like it's the pictures that you sent me earlier of like her like looking at the camera. She's like, huh? um, but when was it on Instagram? It's like you sent or was it YouTube? Um, no, TikTok. I think it was TikTok. It was the animation thing, and it's like Kurt Cobain on a plane. And he's like, I'm on a plane. It's like I was repeating that like over and over and over again. And then come to find out, it's like I played it like on the flight too. I even listened to music like all the way there. Lots of Quebecers on that flight
Yes.
from where I was to New York. I'm like, man, this fucking plane's full. And I was like, there was a French couple right next to me, and I had to like, where are you from? They're like, oh, we're from Montreal. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. I was like, I was like thinking to myself, I was like, I bet you like a lot of these people on this plane are fucking Quebecers. I bet you. I was like, I bet you. And then sure enough, I heard French Canadian. I was like, well, yep, there we go.
You got that Canadian flight.
Yes, the Canadian flight, and it was full all the way back too.
Just somehow finds Ken's on the flight.
What's up?
He's like, shut the fuck up, you asshole. Anyways, we're dragging this on longer than we should. This year has been wild, a lot of ups and downs, and I can't wait to see what 2024 has to offer for us.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that wraps up our recap for 2023, our final episode of the year. We hope you've enjoyed. I hope everybody had an awesome 2023. There are a lot of episodes we have planned in store for next year, so you definitely won't want to miss that. Speaking of next year, we are kicking off 2024 with a random ranking episode, Foo Fighters edition, once again, episode 2. I already have the 10 songs here. Let me just pull them up real quick. I already have them up. I sent them to Dystro, I think, the other day.
Mhm.
So, these are the next 10 songs that are going to be up for grabs for this episode of Random Ranking. Rescued, Cloud Spotter, A Matter of Time, Monkey Wrench, Waiting on a War, Show Me How, Next Year, Times Like These, Wind Up, and Enough Space. So, we kind of have a mixed bag here.
And it has two of my favorite songs on there.
Whereas I see like half of these are like really good. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on the messenger so I could put a pin in it.
I got it in my photos too, so we're all right. But that's going to be for next year. We are kicking it off with Foo Fighters, so you guys will not want to miss that. So, I have our final song of 2023, and why not throw a little curveball for the song? This is a song I feel like even you wouldn't have thought of me picking for the end of the year. Lately, I've kind of been on a bit of a rainbow kick. And it's mainly because back in, I think it was either earlier in December or late November, we did an MTV night where we finally got the music video for the song Stone Cold by Rainbow. And I literally just heard it on the radio last night. And I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about this song all week. Let's put it as the final song of the night for 2023. So we're ending off 2023 with Stone Cold by Rainbow. And as I mentioned, there is a music video. So go ahead and take a listen to that. There will be a link that's going to pop up at the top right hand corner of this episode at the very end. Go ahead and click on that link and it'll take you to the music video. You are going to love this song. I mean, who doesn't like Rainbow? Dicer? Okay. So, if you guys stuck around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to go on ahead and follow us on social media by clicking on that link in the description below, which will take you to Linktree. We have Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. So be sure to go on ahead and follow us there to keep up to date with the show, as well as the YouTube community page on our YouTube channel. You just click on the community tab in the center, and it'll take you to our community page, excuse me, where we post all of our updates, from subscriber counts to sometimes we can't upload, but honestly, that hasn't really been an issue lately. So,
Nope.
still keep up to date with us. It's very important. And Dystro's gaming YouTube channel is there as well. I don't know if you guys can already tell. This is a pre-recorded episode, so unfortunately, I am not able to give an updated subscriber count at this time. But hopefully, by the time you guys see this, he's at 1,100 subscribers. But if he's not, it's okay. Still proud of
Yeah,
him nonetheless for hitting 1,000 this year. That is amazing in itself.
that is crazy though. I can't remember what month it was specifically, but I think it was October when I hit 1,000.
Yeah, because shortly after, our pod hit 200 on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, so
It's not impossible, so let's get you to 1,100. I hope you're already there by the time this episode is out. If not, no big deal. Yeah, go give him some love. He uploads weekly gaming content. I'm in there too sometimes. Also, a little sidebar before we go. You probably can't hear this right now, but Def Leppard's on my radio right now. That's like, it's like a full circle moment. It's
yes, yes, it is. It's
like
a
a big
full
full
circle.
circle moment. It's like we're ending the year with this.
We're in the year of the bag.
For real. Anyways, once again, take a listen to tonight's song of the night, Stone Cold by Rainbow, and that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you guys in 2024. Happy New Year, everybody, and stay safe. Peace.
Peace.